you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
One more time. Helter-skelter. Yes! It has finally happened. On the 22nd day of January, year 30 of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they have officially hit rock bottom. You cannot get any lower than where this organization is at this exact second. The good news, it can only go up from here. And the wheels are spinning, and you got to believe right now the brain trust of Shad Khan and Tony Khan and Mark Lamping and Ethan Waugh are doing just that. And maybe that's just the way it was supposed to be. I mean, this is worse than knowing that you're getting the first pick in the draft in consecutive years. And right now in Jacksonville, it pains me to say it, this is the laughing stock of sports right here in our city. And it'll all be forgotten if you make the right hires. It'll all be forgotten if you do win football games. But the message is crystal clear. Shad Khan does not know what he is doing. He is a brilliant man. He is a very cordial man, very likable man. Had plenty of experiences with Shad Khan over the years. He doesn't know anything about football. And for him to sit there 2.5 weeks ago and tell us that Trent Baalke is not the problem is absolutely unforgiving until you start winning games. So what happened today, I'm just absolutely shocked. I know in this business, to say you're surprised or shocked is like an ego blow. I am totally, absolutely shocked that Trent Baalke was fired today as general manager. It comes on the heels of Liam Cohen saying no thank you. He will stay in Tampa Bay, where he's going to make somewhere in the neighborhood of $4.5 million. He'll be the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. Virtually the same figures as Vic Fangio gets to run the defense in Philadelphia. So what do the Jaguars do now? And this is going to be wonderful. It is. This is going to be such an enjoyable offseason because timing is everything, right? And this should not be a knee-jerk. This has to be really spelled out. Right now, you basically just need to slam on the brakes. And you need to decide what is best and what is the pecking order. Are you going to allow Ethan Waugh to now be the decision maker? Ethan Waugh may be a fantastic football man. Maybe. I don't know. Bottom line, he can't be the guy. He's part of the, hey, losing's okay group. That building, that wonderful building, the Miller Electric Center. They are too comfortable with losing over there. So I don't want this man to hang on and that man to hang on. No. I've said it since day one. Bulldozer the entire thing. Ethan Waugh is part of losing is okay. Losing is comfortable. We lost 10 games by one possession. All we got to do is flip the switch. So all of a sudden that becomes a really big issue. How can you now, when they haven't even done anything, not even the due diligence on front office types, how do you put that ahead of your coach? It's really a scary situation. As far as I'm concerned, I would think that your next head coach is a couple of weeks away from being announced. And I know people are going to be like, oh, no, go get Joe Brady. Oh, no, go back, ask Liam Cohen. Give him a new offer. Oh, no, go hire Robert Saleh, who's flying in tomorrow night and is going to interview on Friday. Patrick Graham going to interview here tomorrow. They will, at that point, have been fully committed to the Rooney Rule, and they are allowed to hire as early as tomorrow night if they want. But they're not ready. Who are you going to trust on the hire? You going to trust Ethan Waugh? He's never hired anyone before. You going to trust Shad Khan? He hadn't worked, right? Didn't work with Mike Baalke, didn't work with Gus Bradley, didn't work with Urban Meyer, didn't work with Doug Peterson. You going to trust him? You going to trust Tony Khan? He's running wrestling. He's running soccer. He's running everything. I mean, you've got to hire football people, all right? And for those who want this done immediately, relax. If you don't think that there are great coaches still out there and available, you're crazy. You absolutely are. Outstanding coaches, right? I wanted Ben Johnson. Bottom line, I don't know if he can coach. Yesterday, I wanted Liam Cohen. I'll admit it, it was a notch below, maybe a notch and a half below Ben Johnson. We don't know if he can coach. That's the next thing I'm hearing. I'm getting all this No, the ship has sailed for Liam Cohen. I'm not bringing him on board after what he did earlier today. And by the way, for Liam Cohen, he's got the best of both worlds. He's making $4.5 million. He runs the Buccaneers offense. If the Bucs do well again in 2025, he's going to be able to pick a job. If they don't do well, we talked about it yesterday, Todd Bowles is 28 and 27 in his career in 3 years. He'll replace Todd Bowles, right? There's more to all of this, in my opinion, than just Trent Baalke. Let's consider the following, all right? The leakage came that was very positive on Cohen. We can't confirm this, but many believe that came straight from the mouth of Trent Baalke. All the positive things that we heard on Cohen, we didn't necessarily hear on Johnson and others. Folks thought it was a planted story. Folks thought it was a Trent Baalke planted story. I don't know if that is the case. That's why today, very surprised that Cohen said that he is not interested. The missing link to all of this is something that I think a lot of you people do not want to hear, but it is something that I have said all along, and it is something that I totally believe. What if Cohen didn't come here because of Trevor Lawrence? What if Johnson didn't come here because of Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence has wasted the first 4 years of his career. Trevor Lawrence never should have been paid the contract extension the way that he was during that time period. He had yet to prove himself. This year, he completed 60% of his passes. In his career, he has completed 63% of his passes. If Josh Allen was the starting quarterback here, or if Trent Baalke was the GM in Buffalo, do you think Liam Cohen says no to the Bills? Do you think Ben Johnson says no to the Bills? If Trent Baalke was running the Cincinnati Bengals organization, do you think either one of these two say no to Joe Burrow? Do you think either one of these two say no to Jaden Daniels? If you watched the press conference yesterday at Hallis Hall, it was crystal clear. Ben Johnson took the Chicago job in a far more difficult division than Jacksonville because of Caleb Williams. You can see it. It was oozing out of him. My mind's made up. Ben Johnson thinks he can win with Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson does not believe he can win with Trevor Lawrence. That is the door that no one wants to open. It's not all Trevor's fault. All right? Trent Baalke never should have given him that money. Oh, it'll reap its reward at the end of the... Whatever. He's signed through 2030. He's 22 and 38 as a quarterback. He's missed 8 games with 7 different injuries. He's had 2 concussions and 2 non-throwing shoulder surgeries. We don't know if we do not know if he is the it guy. We're going into year 5 and we don't know. And I have said this all along. I'm still in Trevor's camp. But the guy that you hire for this job, it is simple. It is so simple. And Liam Cohen blew it. And Ben Johnson blew it. Because all you have to do is walk up to Shad Khan and throw down the syllabus or the itinerary and say, screw that. Trevor Lawrence? Give me Trevor Lawrence, and I'm going to bring you a Super Bowl. That is the coach that this organization has to hire. The guy who looks at Shad Khan and anyone else and says, give me Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to make him a Super Bowl champion. I don't want to hear, oh, well, he's hesitant. Oh, well, he makes mistakes. He hangs on to the ball a little bit too much. He, doesn't go through his progressions the way. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. This is a generational talent who, again, has had 4 years wasted. Okay? You can't bring back those years. Totally wasted. That's the coach you hire. The guy who convinces Shad Khan, oh, yeah, give me Trevor Lawrence. Watch what I'm going to do. Cohen didn't do that in his interview. Ben Johnson didn't do that in his interview. Will Joe Brady do it? Did he do it virtually? Did Kellen Moore do it? Did he do it virtually? Did Todd Monken do it virtually? Did Robert Saleh do it virtually? Even though that's a different field. That's a defensive coach. You got to hire an offensive coordinator. If Jacksonville all of a sudden gets good, then all of a sudden it's Tampa. You lose Canellis 1 year to Carolina, and you nearly lost Cohen this year to Jacksonville. Do you want that to happen once you get good again? Your offensive coordinator gets plucked by another NFL team year after year after year after year after year? No, you want stability. You want a head coach who calls plays so he's around here for years. And if you get knocked out the first round of the playoffs, you're like, okay, but Trevor's only going to be 26 in a year. And that offensive nucleus is still in order. Get better. Not, oh, we lost our offensive coordinator to this team. We're going to have to go find someone else. It's the wrong way to do business. Shad Khan has to be smart enough to know that. The head coach, whoever comes here, has to be smart enough to say that. It is so simple. Don't make ridiculous excuses coming in. Tell the owner of the team, give me Trevor Lawrence, and I'm going to bring you a Super Bowl. Liam Cohen doesn't have that. Liam Cohen took the easy way out. Ben Johnson took the easy way out. Now, a lot of you don't want to approach that, okay? To me, Trevor Lawrence figured in prominently in those two decisions. 99.9% of you are going to say, it's all Baalke, it's all Baalke, it's all Baalke. And that's fine. It is. It's fine. But then ask yourself the question I just did a couple of minutes ago. What if Burrow was here? What if Allen was here? What if Mahomes was here? What if Herbert was here? What if Daniels was here? These two coaches would have said, hell yeah. Give me They don't know about Trevor Lawrence. No one knows about Trevor Lawrence. We want to believe, right? I'm not going to sit here every night and tell you that the guy can't play, that the guy's never going to make it. I'm not wired that way. That's not what I want. You know that if you listen regularly. But if you don't have valid questions about whether or not this quarterback is a gamer, then you have different eyes and ears than I do. Right now, to me, it is a flip of the coin. It honestly is. Is Trevor Lawrence ever going to turn into the guy that we thought he would? It is a flip of the coin. And if it doesn't work, you got to start all over again. It's difficult. It really is. It's hard to accept. But that is where the Jaguars are right here today. It should be a great day. It should be a day of celebration. I mean, my goodness, it is absolutely frigid outside. If I were you, I'd pop off to a liquor store. I'd pick up some Baileys. It'd be nothing but Irish cream. for me tonight. And by the way, there's various ways you can make Irish cream. It's kind of like a Bloody Mary. There's no set-in-stone recipe. I mean, you can go with coffee, you can go with hot chocolate, you can go with regular cream, just pour in some Irish whiskey, or you can certainly go with the Baileys to give it that little extra flavor. But there's no wrong way to make it. Just sit back and enjoy. And I know it's not that popular in these parts because it doesn't get all that cold, but I love it. I'm going to make some when I get home tonight. Right now, though, I'm concentrating on this show. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun over the next couple of hours. The world has clearly been flipped upside down. Who would have believed a Wednesday where we woke up to Liam Cohen saying no to the Jaguars job and then Trent Baalke getting fired a few hours later? What is this football team going to do? Is this a process where someone finally got to Shad Khan? Now, who is that someone? I have my ideas, but who really got to Shad Khan and said, Shad, look at what's happening. Look at what is being discussed around the league, okay? No one wants to work with Trent Baalke. And it's so easy to wonder, what would this situation be like in town if he did the right thing, if he did the logical thing, and fire him 2.5 weeks ago? Liam Cohen could be your coach. Ben Johnson could be your coach. You could have everything right now in order, and your only focus would be, okay, the Senior Bowl is coming up. Right now, the Senior Bowl, it's like, who in the hell is going to represent the Jacksonville Jaguars at this year's Senior Bowl? It's important. It's a big part of the process. Or the East-West Shrine Bowl first, then the Senior Bowl. They're coming up. Then the Combine. This organization right now has absolutely no idea what to do. And you need people. I was going through it today. Dylan, you took a look at it as well. I had you pull up Kansas City. You need more people. Jacksonville is so incredibly understaffed. Look at Kansas City. Look at these premier organizations. They create titles for employees who all have different responsibilities. And even if it is as simple as an extra voice, 2 more eyes, 2 more ears, to understand what's going on in the building, to observe what's going on the field, what's going on outside of the field, what's going on around the league. Jacksonville is incredibly understaffed. And all of the decision-making came from 2 people, Tony Khan and Trent Baalke. And Shad Khan made the decision. That's not the way you win. You need 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay? You need all sorts of individuals who have played this game, who know this game, who've been around it for years, decades, what have you, that have been through the highs and the lows. They know what it's like in the moment with a franchise. Jacksonville does not have that. They haven't had it since Tom Coughlin. That is what they need to do. This is so much more confusing than just getting a general manager and getting a head coach. You need to absolutely solidify your front office, and you need to create football positions. You need more opinions in the Miller Electric Center. So going to be one decision maker, but you need more people giving you input into what you need to do. Jacksonville is incredibly understaffed. Opening comments tonight brought to you by Shmunez Vision. I trust my eyes. They're 20/20. And every time I go, I'm wondering, what if I'm going to get a prescription change when I visit Shmunez? No. My eyes been real solid. Contacts, fantastic. You know, in a perfect world, I wouldn't have contacts. I'd have laser eye surgery, which they have more than 30 years worth of experience in. The problem is this. I had surgery performed by Dr. Neil Shmunez 8.5 years ago. And after some particles were removed from my eye, I'm no longer a candidate for that. However, you may be. Imagine 2020 for the rest of your life. More significant situations, including cataract surgery. Yeah, that's a problem. That may scare the living snot out of you. At Shmunez Vision, they'll take you through it. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt, they'll explain everything to you, not send you down the hall to talk to someone else. They're performing the surgery. They'll answer all your questions. It's the way they roll. It's why they're number one. It's why I am a big fan of Shmunez Vision. You can check them out online. Also, go to Instagram, get everything there as far as testimonials at Shmunez Vision. It's a great party day in Jacksonville. Ground zero. Now you build it from zero on up. The most important part of this equation is to find a coach who believes he can win with Trevor Lawrence. Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, they did not.
Because we see life through sports-colored glasses.
Do you see anything on this uniform indicating an officer? What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning.
1010XL.
Rev up your life with luxury at Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard. Right now, used car prices are 12% lower than their peak in April of 2022, making this the perfect time to drive home in a dream car. Specializing in luxury used vehicles, offering you elegance at prices that are finally coming back down to earth. See special listings in the newspaper every Saturday or online at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Florida's weather is unpredictable. Don't let the Epic Chill catch you off guard. For reliable heating services, call Epic Cool Heating and Air. Keep your home cozy all season long. Call 904-859-EPIC, 904-859-3742.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, poker fans! The Best Bet Winter Open Series returns to Best Bet Jacksonville from January 23rd to February 2nd. Satellites into the $1,500 main event kick off January 4th. Take your shot at big payouts with 8 action-packed events and $500,000 in guarantees. Visit bestbetjacks.com for more details. That's bestbetjacks.com. And we'll see you at the Winter Open starting January 23rd.
Facing a DUI charge or even a boating under the influence charge? Well, I'm your man, DUI lawyer Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW. Once again, 285-4LAW.
She's very comfortable talking sports and hanging out with the boys.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Guess what? We love rugs. We'll treat your fine Oriental rugs with tender, loving care they deserve. How about Gerard, the Zero Res rug cleaning manager, one of the few certified master rug cleaners in the state of Florida? If you want your rugs cleaned with tender love and care, call Zero Res. Right now, have one rug washed and we'll wash the second rug free. That's right, buy one, the second one on me. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Hey gang, Prosser here, and I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures right now running an awesome special for January. Get a complete enclosure done, get free flooring. Now that can save you some money. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring also running a buy one room, get the second room free. Once again, only for January. Now offering flooring coating as well. So give them a call. I know I did. Visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Around this time last year, I was celebrating. Why? Because I had reached my goal of dropping 40 pounds with Awaken 180. It felt great. We all set goals, but most times we don't have a plan to hit them. So it's not really a goal. I'd call it more of a wish, and we know how that saying goes. With Awaken 180, I didn't wish the weight away. I had a plan, and this time I knew I'd reach my goal, and I did it. 40 pounds gone in just 2 months. Simple. That was a year ago, and I haven't put on a pound. How do I feel? Like $1,000,000. Like the horizon line that looked so far away all those years is now right in front of me. And it's a brand new day. And it's time to seize it. Night and day from where I felt carrying around all that weight, having to untuck my shirts, winded trying to tie my shoes. If you're overweight, you know what I mean. Set your goal and know you'll reach it with the solution for weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. They're professionally trained builders. Deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, superiorfenceandrail.com. 1010XL is presented by Barra & Barra, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Charles Manson took this song and thought it was going to create a civil war. It's actually about going down a super slide. For those of you who did not know. All right, what's next for the Jaguars? We all have our opinion. Mine's pretty simple. You got to find a GM first. All right, the organization is still going to be half pregnant with Ethan Waugh. Nothing personal against Ethan Waugh. He may be a fantastic football person, but he's been part of the problem. He's been part of, hey, losing's okay. Screw that. I'm tired of losing being okay. I've never seen anything like it. Laughing in the locker room after losses. Coming out, Josh Allen telling, oh, we really played hard today. It wasn't a great game. You lost. You accept losing in this city. So the first thing you need to do is find a general manager, and it's going to take time. You got to bring in the candidates. You got to go through the Rooney Rule. You must interview 2 minority candidates. You just can't decide on a coach tomorrow. You got to do it the right way. You got to bring in a GM and a head coach at the same time. Because the way that these people are wired, every general manager who comes in is going to want his guy. You can't have it be uneven. They screwed it up. Now you got to sit back and go through all the channels. Ray Agnew, I don't know. He's been the guy I've said all along. Brad Holmes' right-hand man in Detroit. Chad Alexander's getting a lot of play. Assistant general manager out in Los Angeles. Frankly, I would go to a winning organization and take a guy who's not like Ethan Waugh, who's accepted losing. Go to an organization where they know what it's like to win, and they accept winning. That's what you want. That's where I go first. And then I find a head coach. Absolutely amazing to me. The egos of these coaches. That there's not a guy out there who believes he cannot fix Trevor Lawrence. That there's not a guy out there who does not believe that he can take Trevor Lawrence to the elite level and make him a Super Bowl winning coach. You know what Ben Johnson showed me? He couldn't take Trevor Lawrence there. Oh, but Ballou, it was Baalke's fault. If he's a good enough coach, despite Trent Baalke, you take Trevor Lawrence to the promised land. Liam Cohen, I don't want to work with Baalke. If you're a good enough coach, Liam Cohen, you take Trevor Lawrence to the Super Bowl. Cross those two guys out. Oh, go give Liam Cohen whatever. Why? He said no. He doesn't believe in Trevor Lawrence. Find a guy who believes in Trevor Lawrence. The excuse period is over for Trevor. This is year 5, and the clock is ticking. He never should have been paid that contract. I mean, that was so foolish by this organization. Oh, he's going to play year 5, the rookie year. Oh, my God, how he's going to handle things. Maybe he'll hold out. Okay. Can you imagine what it would be like if all of a sudden you heard a quarterback who was 22 and 38 who completes 60% of his passes saying, I'm going to hold out? He would have been laughed out of town. He never should have been paid. That may be a small part of it. You're going to come into a situation where this quarterback is locked up till 2030? And he's proven that he's not a winner. It's not all his fault. It's not even close to being all his fault. And for the record, I think there's a chance. But you need the right man. Liam Cohen wasn't the right man. Ben Johnson wasn't the right man. Liam Cohen said, I'll stay with Baker Mayfield. He's choosing Baker Mayfield over Trevor Lawrence. Ben Johnson said, I'll go with Caleb Williams on a rookie contract. I'll take Caleb. And if you saw that presser yesterday, either he's the greatest actor this side of Robert De Niro, or he fooled the living snot out of me. Because he had me believing yesterday, there's no question. He took Chicago over Jacksonville because he thinks Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. That is who you need. You need a GM first, and then you need your head coach. The way this organization has previously worked, 30 years worth of experience, everything I just said will not apply. Robert Saleh will be announced as your head coach Friday. That's probably the way it's going to go. Okay, just if history repeats itself. Dylan Denmark is here. How you feeling today, young man?
All over the place. I was on the air when the Liam Cohen news broke at 10:15, and thought it was a big blow, and then the day got a lot better when Baalke no longer had the job. When Liam Cohen, after the show got off, when I got home about 12:30, I kind of sided with you that football coaches are the most, out of anybody, any of the coaches in any sports, they are my way or the highway. They believe they can fix anybody. And everybody kind of feels that way.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And I just find it hard to believe that no one out there believes that they could fix Trevor Lawrence. And then when the news broke that Trent Baalke was going to be let go, I was like, I think this is all on Trent Baalke.
Yeah.
And then now that you've talked, you kind of swayed me back into it's a lot more of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of. There's got to be some young guy that could say, I'm going to work with Trevor Lawrence, regardless of who the GM is, who regardless of the owner, regardless of how the roster is built. I can work with Trevor Lawrence. I can fix him. There's got to be someone out there.
Oh, there is. Oh, there's no doubt there is. Okay. Liam Cohen wasn't. Ben Johnson wasn't. They didn't think they could win. with Trevor Lawrence. And the Baalke excuse is there. And Baalke needed to go. And I'm not all of a sudden defending Trent Baalke. I would have fired Baalke years ago. This was a problem that this organization could not see. And it set them back again. They should have made the move 2.5 weeks ago, and you never would have dealt with this problem. You need to find now a guy that can take Trevor Lawrence to the top. Liam Cohen couldn't do it. Ben Johnson couldn't do it. I mean, you can spin this any way you want. These are facts. There's more to it than Baalke. There is. Baalke's the fall guy. And he deserves to be the fall guy. By the way, just a message to anyone out there. If you're going to be rude, if you're going to be a bad guy, be good at your job. There's a lot of bad people out there who are good at their job. Right? Don't be bad at your job and be a bad human being. That doesn't work. Just go up and read on him. He's getting destroyed from every entity around the NFL. His reputation, you cannot repair that. He is a difficult guy to work with, a power struggle no matter where he has gone. I was Googling it earlier today, trying to get an answer. If someone can get this for me, I appreciate it. I think he has to be the general manager, historically speaking, in the NFL, who has been through the most fired head coaches. Somehow he always survived because he was always able to present a side of him where it was never his fault. It was always someone else's fault. I'm really going to have a problem if we found out on Friday that Ethan Waugh's the general manager and Robert Saleh is your head coach. I mean, that almost sounds to me like Shad Khan's got plans elsewhere. Let's just get this done, and I'll get back to you. No. You created this problem, okay? You don't trust anyone around you. You should have gone to your football people. You should have had people tell you time and again, make the change. Get ahead of it. And you did not. Now you're starting from scratch. And while you're doing that, you're being laughed at by the NFL. I hate it. I hate how you're being laughed at. Tell you one good thing, and I'll even say this. I'm going to credit Jaguar fans. I've been doing this forever. And every single year, whether it's a coach or a general manager or a quarterback, or no matter what it is, I always get that's it, I'm done. I'm not renewing my tickets. I'm not going back next year. I've always laughed at that because I understand fans very well. And I figured once you get through this brutal winter and the spring and the summer, by the time August comes around, you're back in. I actually believe that for the first time ever this year. I wonder if that got to Shad Khan. I don't think it's too hard for him to pick up and say, how are ticket sales going? I mean, I read what you send me. I've received a few hundred of, I'm not renewing my tickets, yada, yada, yada. I've said all along, I don't subscribe to that, regardless of how bad things are. These players, they need your, they need you out there. They need your support. I would never go down that road. Maybe that got to Shad Khan. Maybe that was a small part of all this as well. That you out there as the consumer, you were finally heard. I think you played a part into it. I really do. All right, let's grab some reaction from you. John Osher's going to join us in 20 minutes. Talk to the senior writer of Jaguars.com about what he believes is next. Haven't spoken with John at all today, so I have no idea where his opinion is compared to mine. I know mine is different from, I got to believe just about anyone else out there. It's simple for me. You find a guy that can work with Trevor Lawrence. You find a guy that can take Trevor Lawrence to where he's got to be. And that is one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. We can't keep making excuses for this guy. It's time. It is. It's year 5. It's time. It's time for him to be the best in the game. So far, it has not worked out his way. It has not been entirely his fault. But it's been a massive disappointment in the first 4 years.
Yo, E.T. here, and beat the winter blues with fun activities in Clay County. Some of my personal favorites are a hands-on aquaponics class at Reparation Earth, or diving into the action at Nakima Anime Bar, where you can join weekly gaming and cosplay tournaments. Clay County always has something going on. Plan your next day at exploreclay.com and share the fun at #ExploreClay.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $2,600 per ounce. Pay bills. Buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors. When you're injured, you probably have more questions than answers, and all you really want is to feel better. This is Joe C., and I certainly can identify. Well, thanks to Rebound Rehab, I bounced back from a serious case of ankle tendonitis to feel pain-free. They can do the same for you. 8 locations across the First Coast and a team of physical therapists ready to help. From laser and radio pressure wave therapy to aquatic and massage therapy, they can offer real solutions to help you rebound. Log on, reboundrehab.com, and start your path back to pain-free life.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
At The Players, we are proud to support Jasmine in their mission to empower LGBTQIA+ teens and young adults through leadership, advocacy, resources, and a safe, affirming community. It's 48 days to go into The Players.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Gonna take a freight train.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The 4042 says, Ballou, I just came back as a fan because they fired Trent. That's what I was waiting for. Most of you were in that camp. I feel bad for anyone who loses a job, especially nowadays, but this was a long time coming for Trent Baalke. It just was. And, he never... It's not like he has to be buddy-buddy, but he was just such a salty guy. I remember the first time I met him. I mean, God, just like he didn't have time, Dave Caldwell was an incredibly nice man. Still is. Gene Smith, I had trouble getting to know. Gene was kind of that way, but Gene was very private. Baalke just didn't have time for you. What were you saying, Dylan?
No, I was going to ask how much, I know you were a sideline reporter, like how much interaction have you had with previous GMs? Would you kind of just answer
Oh, my God. Dave Caldwell?
Yeah.
Oh, unlimited.
Y'all just talk about, like, what were the questions you would ask him? Just about anything about scouting and this and what positions and...
You name it. I mean, I would talk to him about a lot of Florida State guys and things like that. But Dave Caldwell and I would sit around and talk about the Red Sox and Yankees. I mean, it doesn't always have to be hardcore football, right? And, Dave Caldwell was not a great general manager here by any stretch, but he's a good guy. And I still, not as much as I used to, but I still have run-ins with Dave every once in a while. He was on my same flight to Philadelphia this year, where he works right now with the Eagles organization. Again, that's just kind of my point. That there are unfriendly people who are just not nice to others, but usually those people are really good at what they do, and they can get away with it. The combination of not being good at what you do and not being a nice human being is going to typically end not the way you want it to. 2052, just taking a shot at Darby. Maybe they think Trevor might not be right after this hit against the Texans. I don't even know how to answer that. We've heard that speculation with Tua previously, not really with Trevor. And that's another part of everything that I really complain about, okay? There wasn't enough support there. There wasn't. Doug Peterson did an awful job supporting his quarterback. A few guys stepped up. Jarian Jones stepped up. Sheriff stepped up. A couple of other guys stepped up, but not enough. Not enough. When you see something like that, it makes you wonder one of two things. Number one, is Trevor not the leader that he is supposed to be? Is he not respected that way in the locker room? I tend to disagree with that. I think he's a very likable guy. I think it goes back to just going through the motions, accepting losing. I'm not going to be a dog. You be a dog. I'm not going to be I mean, how many other teams in the NFL, if they racked their quarterback that way, would have done something about it without being told that you have to do something about it? And then look how all of that turned out. Look at the general manager and the head coach, even though they were 100% wrong in Houston, they went overboard to defend their player. And look what the fans did. Where around here, it was making it more of two wrongs don't equal a right. I mean, that was awful by Doug Peterson. Go back and watch that. Hands in his pocket, play calling sheet between his elbow and his ribs. Your quarterback is unconscious on the side, right there in the middle of the field. Fireable offense right there, in my opinion. And there was a time where there would have been guys, defensive players on that team, who would have said, are you kidding me? Payback is in. I want to say, did Jacksonville actually get more penalty yards on that play? Or was it equal on both sides and it ended up being nothing changed as far as down in distance? They crossed one another off. I have to go back and look at that. I want to say Jacksonville got 2 penalties on the play.
The penalties were offset, and then Mac Jones came in on a 3rd and 1. I'm talking about on the Trevor Aziz Al-Shaair. Yeah, the refs messed that up because one was during the play, and then all those penalties were after the play, so they should have marked the first down and then been offset, but didn't matter.
That's an identity problem. That is. I want a general manager who comes in here who can bring us leaders, right? I remember Urban Meyer coming here telling us how great of a leader Shaq Griffin was, how great of a leader Marvin Jones Jr. was, how great of a leader Rayshon Jenkins was. Okay, but if you can't play, the leadership stuff goes away. And those guys were average at best. You need to find great players who are leaders. Who are the best players on this team? Are any of them leaders? Trayvon Walker's not a leader. Brian Thomas Jr. is not a leader. He's a rookie. That's not his role. Hines Allen is spotty. He's not consistent. This team, the cupboard's not empty. There's a lot of promise here. You got a quarterback. You got to find someone who can get everything out of him. You got to put him in the right system. You got to improve that interior offensive line. He gets killed. They can't run. Again, this year, they cannot run the freaking football. Every single year, they can't run the football. Get a team that can run the football and watch how much better Trevor Lawrence becomes. Oh, Phil Rauscher, he's it. He's really the incoming guy. He's the hot guy. That offensive line sucked. It sucks every year. Fix it. Fix it. You've got some talent on this team. You've got draft capital on this team. You've got free agency money to spend on this team. Go get some alphas. Get some guys that aren't going to sit there and watch your quarterback get laid out. They're going to respond. They're going to fight for the team. Get a coach that can take Trevor Lawrence to the top. That's how you win the interview. Give me the keys. Trevor Lawrence, give me the keys. Watch this, Shad Khan. Watch what I'm going to do with Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to watch Trevor Lawrence take this team to the Super Bowl. Not any of this, he holds on to the ball too long. He tries to make... No. Interview over. Find the guy who tells you, I'm getting Trevor Lawrence to take this team in this city to the Super Bowl. It's as easy as that. Find that coach. That's what Shad Khan has to do.
Now, look, I know you guys aren't excited that we're on your team, but we're here.
Joe Coward.
Guys, we're in this thing together.
Matt Hayes.
I'm asking you, believe in yourselves.
And Leon Searcy.
Believe in each other.
XL Prime Time.
Let's put on our leg warmers, and let's dance our asses off.
Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
You know, many plumbers won't quote prices over the phone and instead charge a service fee for an in-home estimate. Of course, because they know once they're in your home, you're probably not going to send them away. But Roland Reach Plumbing is different. Roland will give you a price quote over the phone. And there's never a trip charge or service fee for an estimate. So if you've got a leak and can't wait a week and don't like paying unnecessary fees, call on Roland Reach Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Jacksonville. When AEW returns home, it is the biggest party in all of professional wrestling.
Daily's Place, the home of AEW.
And on Saturday, January 25th, Collision returns live. It's a new year and a whole new era in AEW. And there's no better time to experience the excitement than right now. AEW Collision Homecoming, live from Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Tickets on sale now, starting at $20 at AEWTIX.com.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Hey, John, looking for the perfect family ride?
How about taking your family on a luxury ride with the all-new 2024 Cadillac Escalade?
That sounds amazing. If you're a loyal customer, you get $4,000 off. Or if you're new to Randy Marion, you can get a $3,000 Conquest discount.
And don't forget the 5% savings on retired courtesy transportation vehicles.
You can save over $10,000 on select 2024 Escalade.
Experience the luxury and comfort at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resist all unapproved credit.
You
What's happening, sports bettors? ET here for my bookie. And it's winner go home with the AFC and NFC finals this weekend. So build that bankroll up for the big game. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads leads to New Orleans. This is your chance to get on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts right now with my bookie. My bookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're backing the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet. If it doesn't hit, my bookie got your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll, my boy. My bookie's online casino keeps excitement going 24/7. From blackjack to baccarat, roulette to slots. Haven't joined yet? Now is the time. Use my promo code 1010XL on your very first deposit, and my bookie will hook it up instantly with a 50% deposit. With my bookie. Come on, somebody.
Ring in the new year with a new boat. Don't miss the Jacksonville Boat Show, January 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Presented by ViStar Credit Union. Tickets at boatjacks.com. Come buy a boat.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
He, of course, is John Osher. Joins us each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Senior writer, Jaguars.com. Welcome, John.
Rick, is it hockey season yet? What do you want to talk about tonight?
My goodness. How about that? Yeah, I enjoyed watching a little bit of last night's Capitals out of Oilers with Connor McDavid out. 3 games for cross-checking. So, good
Yeah,
luck.
well, that's a yeah. I mean, I haven't watched that, but I'm not sure the listeners are that interested in hockey.
Let's get right to it. I am shocked at what has transpired today. I knew that after the Cohen disappointment to Jaguar fans that it could have been to candidate number 3, but I never felt that Trent Baalke on this day would be out of a job.
Well, I can't say that I was expecting it, but it does feel like I keep going back to when Saad was talking about all this at the very beginning, meaning the day after the regular season when Doug was fired, and he kept saying, "Hey, basically that if the process told him that something was needed, then he wouldn't not make a change, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really looked at the statement, but that was basically what he was saying when he was asked about if a coach said you had to, you'll get rid of Trent or however the question was worded. I know fans don't want to hear this and be like, well, why didn't he just do it 2 weeks ago? And that's a fair question. But it does feel like, okay, the process has told him that a change was evidently needed. And again, I'm not going to sit here and I tell the listeners that they're wrong in thinking, oh, they dragged their feet. They should have done this quicker. All of that is, I can't say it's not a fair assessment, but I think that Saad's a process guy. He has listened to the process in the past, and I keep referring to 2017 when at the end he came out with the Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone, Dave Caldwell triumvirate or whatever you call it. It feels like today, and I think there is some truth to he and Trent mutually deciding, hey, you know what? It's telling us that this doesn't work. So let's move on, move forward, and give the Jags the best guy possible moving forward and the best structure possible moving forward, which I think is where they're at now. And whatever happened the last 2 weeks, that's where they're at.
All right, now it comes down to what should they do and what will they do? What is most important for you right now? I'll go first. I think you hire a GM first, and that's going to take time with the Rooney Rule and everything else, and then go get your head coach. Where do you see what they should do next?
I'll say this first, and it's obvious. Getting the head coach right, meaning whoever is involved with the search at this point, Shad and whoever he's leaning on, now that if Trent indeed was the stumbling block, which all reports say that was a huge factor, now that that's not a stumbling block, let's make sure we get the head coach right, meaning reset it or whatever that means. Calm down and make sure you make the right decision. Don't just jump to the next guy automatically, right? And I don't necessarily know that the GM has to be hired ASAP. If you get the head coach right and then they go find a GM, that's okay too. So I think that don't necessarily think that you have to have a GM to find the right coach, depending on what the structure is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And again, in that answer, Rick, I'm not trying to avoid the question. I'm trying to make sure to emphasize, get it right. I don't necessarily. There's no guarantee that they even missed out on the right guy yet, right?
Right.
But just make sure that you back up and make sure you get the right guy. And I'm going on too long on the answer, but if you ask me, well, how does that happen after you have, quote, missed out on the first two guys? I'd go back to when the Colts hired Frank Reich, right? And everybody assumed that Josh McDaniel, oh, my gosh, we missed out on Josh McDaniel. Frank Reich's tenure ended in Indy, but he was a good head coach for them for a long time, right? And they circled back after losing Josh McDaniel because they took their time making sure they got it right. I think that blueprint for getting it right still exists for a team that maybe missed out on the first guy that they wanted, if in fact they did.
Yeah, I mean, hiring a first-time head coach, the percentages say that it's not going to work. It has worked in Houston. I don't think it's working right now in Tennessee or Indianapolis. That's my opinion. So we don't know if it would have worked with Cohen or with Johnson. Sure. With that said, do you give someone a second opportunity? Now, they tried that with Marrone, and they tried that with Peterson, and it didn't work. I look at a guy like a Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, I look at a guy like Todd Monken, who did it at Southern Miss. He hasn't done it in the NFL. Where do you sit with coaches who have experience?
You know, again, this is going to sound like I'm evading the question, and I'm not. I just want to answer the way I feel. Get the right guy regardless of experience. And, well, who's the right guy? Well, you know, that in asking your question, you probably gave away my answer.
Mm-hmm.
There's no formula, or else people would always do X, right? If the second opportunity always worked, that's what you do. If the hot guy always worked, that's what you do. Hey, let's go get the next Sean McVay. Well, you know, that worked, I think, in going and getting the next Sean McVay. I think it worked in Green Bay. Didn't work so well with, you know, the other next Sean McVay. So I think that's why I kind of said back up and take your time. Talk to people and figure out what makes the most sense and if you're finding the right guy. So there is no formula, which is why I answered it that way. If I thought that having coaching experience was the end all, I'd say go get Cliff Kingsbury. Make sure it's the right guy for how you see this franchise moving forward. And maybe the first thing is figuring out what that looks like. What do you want, and then go find it. Don't necessarily make it the first guy or the hot offensive coordinator or whatever formula you think people want. Figure out what you think you want and go find it.
John Osher, our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Busy day in Jacksonville, including the firing of Trent Baalke as the general manager. You know, everyone now focused on who the new head coach is. To me, it's much deeper than that. And, you know, you and I have had conversations for years, but there was always a guy there. And maybe it is Ethan Waugh who's got the interim tag. But whenever coaches were fired and GMs were fired, Dave Caldwell's gone, you promote Trent Baalke. This is a very difficult time of year. We're 2 weeks away from the from the East-West Shrine. Then it's the Senior Bowl. Then it's the Combine. You know that all the college scouts, their work is in. And more work will come with those events, but their work is in. If you bring in a new GM, do you fire everyone and bring in all of your scouts and all of your people? And again, time is ticking. We're 92 days away from the draft, and I know that this is not entirely new. It happens league-wide yearly, but it is relatively new, so to speak, for the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but Ethan Waugh, people who don't know him, he's a pro. He can run scouting, run the department, and the draft process can continue to take place. It's a machine, so to speak, with a lot of components, meaning area scouts and then the next level of scouts feeding information upward. So that process can continue to take place. When a new GM comes in, it's very often the case that the area scouts, it's not an overhaul because they are gathering information and putting it up. They're not necessarily making decisions based on things. A new GM, if that's the way they go, can come in and make decisions based on information given to them and it not destroy the draft process. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's ideal to have a GM change at this point or GM and a head coach with nothing in place. Yes, the clock starts ticking, and yes, you have to move quickly, but it does not have to be a disaster in terms of process. And it really just depends on if the GM you hire is the right guy, he can come in, work with the people in place, gather information, and then make a decision at that point. Usually structures like that, Rick, new GM keeps people in place and then makes decisions after the draft anyway. If the decision was made 2 weeks ago, that's what would it have been.
Yeah.
So I don't think that necessarily – it doesn't cripple you, but you're about a month away from the Combine.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here and tell you that you don't have to move quickly or that timing isn't a factor moving forward.
Last one for you, John, and it's I know we don't know for sure, so it would be guesswork on your part, but Shad Khan, did he learn something now? And I was going through it today. I was comparing Kansas City's front office to Jacksonville, and it dwarfs it. There's just so many more people involved with created titles that have major responsibilities front office-wise for a very successful franchise like Kansas City. Do you think that this could be the beginning of adding more people in the Miller Electric Center who are football operational guys that have a say, that have eyes, have ears? They don't make the final decision, but their input factors into it. Do you see that growing now under Shad Khan?
Yeah, well, I think the fact that Shad already, the day after a presser that he had, he did talk about the need. I forget what phrase he wore. I think he said we're lean. We could add people. So if whoever is the GM football guy, and I don't know how that'll look, he mentioned EVP after that too. If that's still in play, it'll depend on what that person wants or thinks they need.
Mm-hmm.
But I certainly don't think that Shad's not going to stand in the way of that if his football person who he's listening to thinks we need X, Y, and Z. We need, whatever the titles are. And we could go on all day about titles. Yeah, I think that could easily start looking like that depending on the person in charge. So,
John, yeah.
Again, not a great answer because right now everything's so fluid, but I think it could be.
John Osher, ladies and gentlemen, he's busy, and you can read it all from he and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com, get the very latest. John, thank you so much, man. Stay warm.
Rick, thanks, buddy. You too.
By the way, I still have your Christmas present. I haven't had a chance to get with you one-on-one, if you had that right now, you would definitely be able to stay warm. I think he hung up. He's like, I'm out of here. 8630 Ballou, full court press on Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff's growing on me a little bit. He is. Yeah, I think where I sit right now, I'm listen, this is nothing against Robert Saleh. He may be fine. But you've heard how expressive I am on this and how emotional I am on this. It's not an act. It's how I feel. And, I'm getting some people now that are on me saying that I'm ripping Trevor Lawrence. I'm not ripping Trevor Lawrence. I'm trying to motivate the situation. This guy has got to be taken to the elite. He is a generational talent. Average is not good enough for Trevor. Below average is not good enough for Trevor. 22-38 is not good enough for Trevor. And I think that Cohen didn't want – I think Cohen sees a better situation than Trevor. I think Ben Johnson sees a better situation than Trevor. I want to find a coach, whether it's Cliff Kingsbury, whether it's Joe Brady, whether it's Todd Monken, who says, give me him. And watch what about Mike McCarthy? Mike McCarthy's had Aaron Rodgers, and Mike McCarthy's had Dak Prescott. Wouldn't you like to get an opinion on Mike McCarthy on what he thinks he can do? With Trevor Lawrence, I'm not saying hire Mike McCarthy, but you got to figure this out. And this is the most important part. You could talk to me about a second corner and getting a safety and getting a right guard and getting a linebacker who can cover and getting some pressure from the defensive side. All that's fine. I love the conversation. I'm here for it. No. It's about taking Trevor Lawrence to the elite. Who can do that? I mean, his contract hasn't even kicked in. $55 million a year. And that is far and away the most important aspect of this franchise. And to me, it's eliminated defensive guys because of that very reason. And you know what? You can make the point. You could say, hey, Ballou, Urban Meyer came here for Trevor Lawrence. How did that work out? Doug Peterson came here because of Trevor Lawrence. How did that work out? That's fair. You may also say Ben Johnson didn't come here because of Trent Baalke, not Trevor Lawrence. Liam Cohen didn't come here because of Trent Baalke and not Trevor Lawrence. And you may be 100% on and correct, but it doesn't change my mind. I want an alpha. Dylan, you said it. These coaches are wired so differently. Their egos are ridiculous. I've never had a serious conversation with a coach who does not think he is the best coach there is. Every coach will do things a little bit differently than the other coach. They learn from them, but they do things a little bit differently. And their ego is, I'm the best coach there is. That's the guy that I want. That's the guy that you should want. That coach who looks at Shad Khan and says, a 25-year-old Trevor Lawrence? Give him to me. Watch what I'm going to do with a 25-year-old Trevor Lawrence. That's the guy. If Cliff Kingsbury comes in here and says that, he's my guy. If Joe Brady comes in here and says, give me a 25-year-old, I worked with Joe Burrow. I worked with Josh. Give me Trevor Lawrence. He's my coach. If Mike McCarthy at his age says it, bam. If Todd Monken says, hey, listen, I won with Stetson Bennett. Look at me now with Lamar Jackson. Give me Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to the Super. Then I'm hiring him. Okay? It's difficult to figure out who that is. But if a guy's like, I don't want to come here, no, well, screw you. Stay in Tampa with Baker. Go to freaking Chicago and work with Caleb. Go. Get the guy who wants to be here and can turn Trevor Lawrence. It's a lot easier said than done, folks. So much easier said than done. But that's where I am. That is the guy they have got to find.
Follow the JU Dolphins on 1010XL.
The Dolphins dive into Georgia with their 5-game win streak for a war with the Wolves. JU West Georgia, Thursday at 7 on 1010 AM.
This is head coach Matthew Driscoll from the UNF men's basketball team. When our players suffer an orthopedic injury, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists gets our players back on the court pain-free.
We appreciate the endorsements from our high school and college coaches. This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
The big game is almost here, and Sonny's Barbecue wants you to win a barbecue feast. Text Sonny's to the text line brought to you by Lifetime Flooring at 641-1010 for your chance to win. 641-1010.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
At The Players, we are proud to support Jasmine in their mission to empower LGBTQIA+ teens and young adults through leadership, advocacy, resources, and a safe, affirming community. It's 48 days to go into The Players.
Kick off the new year with a new look for your home. It's the Renewal by Andersen New Year's sales event. For a limited time, save 20% on their energy-efficient windows and patio doors, designed to keep your home comfortable all year. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation.
irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage too.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We'll go to Las Vegas in just a little bit here from Rafael Esparza. Check on Championship Sunday. In the meantime, let's randomly here just fire through your thoughts. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. 8524 Big Bo for general manager. No, not general manager. I love Baselli. I've known him forever. He's a friend. I would love to see him involved with the organization. I don't want him in charge of the draft or free agency. He's never done it. He's never done it. Is there room for him? Absolutely. But at that role, if you want to EVP him, fine. You want to give him a title, fine. This organization needs someone that both sides can trust. You can't allow Trent Baalke to go 18 days at the end of the season without having a press conference. That's Bush. That reflects the organization. That's bad business. That's a dysfunctional organization. You need someone in the building that can go to the general manager and say, the fans want to know what's up. Baselli could do that. 0882, Rick, Trevor was saddled with Urban Meyer and Press freaking Taylor. Enough said, give the guy a break. I am giving him a break. He's making $55 million a year. I want him at elite status. No C-minuses here. No trophies for participation here. He's a generational talent. I want him to be the best there is. Find the coach. Find the motivator. Find the perfect scheme. Fix the offensive line. Make some changes. Build up your offense. Listen to all the experts out there. Defense, corner, safety, tackle. No. Fix Trevor Lawrence. Protect Trevor Lawrence. Get him weapons. Everyone else is replaceable. He's not. Some of you are too sensitive. I want an alpha who's going to grab Trevor Lawrence and say, let's go to the top. They haven't had that. And by the way, Press freaking Taylor, as you alluded to, that's on Shad Khan. Because Shad Khan should have grabbed Doug Peterson and said, call plays. If you don't call plays, you're fired. And he didn't. And look what happened. Maybe if you have a guy like Baselli in the building, he can go to Shad Khan and say, Doug's got to call plays. Maybe Baselli, and maybe Shad says, Bo, you go talk to him. And Baselli says, Doug, call the freaking plays. Why do I believe if Doug Peterson called plays, they lost 10 games by one possession? Why do you believe this team wins 7, 8, 9 games, not 4? Doug Peterson's a good coach. He was loyal, and it cost him, and I still don't know why. 80-58, Ballou, no one can take Trevor to the elite level. You want someone to come in and lie and say it can be done? No, let's get someone who is honest. Well, no one is more honest than I am, okay? I think it can happen, but I've also told you, percentage-wise, I have waned the last 2 years.
Where do you think Trevor ranks? What do you think the coaches that are interviewing for the job, where do you think they rank Trevor among the 32 in the league?
Mid?
Yeah, I'd agree. About 15, 18.
Teens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not all his fault, but we're talking about the elite. Okay? This guy was supposed to be elite. Better than Caleb Williams. Better than Jaden Daniels. Okay? Better. Supposed to be better than all these guys. So, And you're saying it can't be done. I disagree. I disagree with that. I think you could find the right coach who can do that.
You think that's only with an offensive coach?
I do. And I can't get a lot of people to agree with me on it. You know, we hear about the leader of men. And you know, you can't go wrong because I hate to say it, but there aren't leaders on this team. And there aren't alphas on this team. There aren't dudes on this team. And my guess is that's not even part of the conversation. Hiring the right offensive guy that will call plays. That is absolutely what I would do. It's not even close. It's so far away from everything else. I've given you all the reasons why. 78-11 Blue. Mark my words, the city and the team will turn their backs on him. He's a lucky guy, even great age. And then again, I think he could pursue the Baalke and yada, yada. However, in reality, the worst is too much money in great players. Well, they're all going to get paid. And that happens all over. Unfortunately for this organization, guys that they have re-signed have never lived up to it. And that includes recent signings. Tyson Campbell, Josh Hines-Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Walker Little got injured. That still counts against you. Unfortunately, in this business, it does. I don't want to go with that. I don't want to go with Hartford Whalers, Boston Bruins. My goodness, what's going on here? Given the wall of Duval, 52-62. Brother, if I had any say in this, man, I would go offense, 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 offense. Get the freaking defensive guys off the street. You don't even know how I feel about this. I try to explain it all the time. That offensive line sucks. Fix the offensive line. You know that 2/5 of it are there, and I feel pretty good about the tackle combination if they can stay healthy. That interior offensive line is soft. That is exactly what I would do. Give me the best guard in free agency, and they've tried that. It didn't work. It didn't work with Norwell. Or Norwell. It didn't work with Sheriff. Do you draft it? Do you draft the tackle? Do you move them inside the guard? I don't know. I don't know at this point. I know a guard doesn't equal number 5. Well, then get a second wide receiver. Go get a dominant wide receiver.
That Arizona guy, McMillan?
Yeah. Become the Bengals. You know, become a team that has 2 outstanding wide receivers. And if you lose 35-32, then you say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe it's time to turn some of our attention on defense. They overpaid for guys last year, and they sucked. Eric Armstead? Savage? Come on. Go get the best wide receiver in the draft. Give Trevor Lawrence what he needs, man. Unlimited weaponry. And an offensive line. And what about a rushing attack? Again, another awful year when it came to running the football here in Jacksonville. It's the same thing.
Every team that's in the playoffs right now can run the football at any time. And it's partly the reason why the Ravens lost, why they didn't beat the Bills. It's because they didn't run the football enough. Like, if you look at rushing attempts in the league in 2024, like 8 of the top 10 teams that ran the ball the most all made playoff runs.
Mm-hmm. 99-99. Baselli would fill the role of Chris Spielman. There's a perfect example. Get a guy like him and put him in the building. If it's Baselli, fine. If not, find someone else. Bring in Fred Taylor. Bring in Paul Posluszny. I don't care who it is. Bring in a guy. You can afford it. You need more people. You need more continuity in that building. Let's see. Yada, yada, yada. 0582. Rick agreed. The sentiment of having a coach take him to the top. What area would you have the next GM focus in the first 3 rounds? Okay, but is the draft next 3 rounds? I'm going absolutely wide receiver and right guard. with 2 of my first 3 picks. Without hesitation, I'm going right guard and wide receiver. Or wide receiver and right guard. Without even thinking about it. And then with my 3rd pick, filling a hole defensively. Second corner, safety, interior defensive lineman. Go ahead and pick it. No one is as serious in town about this as I am. And I'm going to stick to it. Okay? I haven't given up on Trevor Lawrence. I want the right guy in and the people around him where we can sit here in a year and then be real. Or maybe it takes 2 years and be real. And the conversation is either going to be, wow, look at this thing turn. Trevor's really settled in. He's now a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and he's escalating. Or we're going to sit here and say, no, it's not going to work. They tried it all. They addressed right guard. They addressed the second wide receiver. They're running the ball. The offensive line is better. He still isn't over the hump. I want it to be one of 2 things. This uncertainty every year and changes and who's calling plays and injuries and listen, I don't read them all, okay? But there is some out there that are feeling this fear. And the fear is 8 missed games in 2 years, 7 different injuries in 2 years, 2 concussions in 2 years, 2 non-throwing shoulder surgeries in 4 years. That's legit. It is. Absolutely legit. Let's grab one more before the break. Yada, yada, yeah. 32-17. Ballou, I thought you were the truth teller. Trevor ranks in the teens, laughing out loud. Come on. You can't believe that with what you've seen. 27th or 28th. Dude is a bust. There are people out there, I get this all the time, who believe that it's not going to work for this guy. Okay? Again, I love shows like this because there is a faction of people out there that think I've been ripping Trevor Lawrence. There's a faction of people out there that think I am being too kind to Trevor Lawrence, and I'm the truth teller. Why am I not telling? I love it. I love it when I get it from both sides. We don't know, folks. If you're satisfied with what has happened in the last 4 years, then all the power to you. But we were force-fed this right down our throat. Can't miss. Generational. I always say this, and I put it in parentheses. It's not all his fault. It has been miserable. From Urban Meyer to Press Taylor to no running the football to not protecting him to terrible offensive scheme, terrible game planning. What are Trevor Lawrence's numbers on his opening drive? What are Trevor Lawrence's numbers on the games that he has played in the first quarter? The football team is asleep. Whether it's home or away, night or day, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, here, London, East Coast, West Coast, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock. This team sleeps during the first quarter. Every single game. Is that all Trevor Lawrence's fault? No. It's not. But everyone else is expendable. He is your franchise. If it doesn't work with this guy, you're starting all over again. You're going to replace Tyson Campbell in a couple of years. You're going to replace Josh Hines Allen in a couple of years. You're going to replace Walker Little in a couple of years. Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be here for 20 years. His name is supposed to hang on the pride. He's supposed to join Baselli and hopefully Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith in the Hall of Fame. Right now, half my listeners think he's a bust. Fix it. If Cohen's feelings are hurt because of Baalke, get him the hell out of here. I think he doesn't think he can win with Trevor. Same with Johnson. That's my opinion. Give me a guy who says, I don't care who's in the damn front office. You're trying to tell me I can work with Trevor Lawrence? Trevor Lawrence? Give me the job. Watch what I'm going to do with this guy. God, it's so easy. Find them. They're out there. Find the right guy that is literally foaming at the mouth saying, give me Trevor Lawrence and watch what I can do with him. That is who Jacksonville has to hire. Let's go to Vegas next. Rafael Esparza.
Drink a beer, sing a song, make a friend. Can't we all get along?
Drink a beer, sing a song, can't we all get along?
This is great!
Exactly.
1010XL.
Football's heating up. The NBA is back. And on Hard Rock Bet, you can bet every sport. Even combine all your sports into one bet. One Florida bettor put $50 on a combo parlay and won more than $100,000. And they tacked on another $10,000 to that win with a daily profit boost. Promos every day for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Win your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
Denny Thompson here. Tyson Sound and Security has a huge prize sweepstakes now through the big game. I'm talking a 75-inch loaded Samsung TV with 3D surround sound, a sound bar with wireless subwoofer, and installation is included. Stop by the new showroom, check out the setup, and drop your name in the box for your chance to win the $2,500 prize now through February 9th. Tyson Sound and Security now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
Every Monday,
David Garrard
calls the signals and looks for you on Jaguars Today from 10 to noon.
Look past left, crawl. Oh, ready.
Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
Duval.
On 1010XL.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
It's New Year's resolution time, so why not skip the guilt and do something you'll actually stick to, like fixing that leaky faucet, unclogging that drain, or getting your AC ready for the summer.
DuckDuck is here to help you keep this resolution, investing in your home.
Start the year off right with DuckDuck Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Call us today at 904-862-6769, because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Mia here for Dream Finders Homes. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dream Finders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now is your chance to lock down the rate and get in the game. You heard me right, a 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershome.com for more details.
Why is the Dead Sea so named? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Dead Sea is 9 times saltier than any other sea, which means no living creature can actually live there.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours. Need or want cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy. Guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all. Selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
And, of course, the announcement today, Trent Baalke out as general manager. Shad Khan with a release, parting ways with the GM. This comes on the heels of both Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen saying no after being apparently offered the Jaguars job. So now they're on number 3, and what will they do first? The interim general manager is Ethan Waugh. He right now, I would think, has a great deal of say, along with Tony Khan and Shad Khan. We do know that Robert Saleh is flying in tomorrow night. It'll be his second in-person interview. He'll do so on Friday. Also, Patrick Graham, scheduled for tomorrow, he will interview. He is currently the Las Vegas Raiders defensive coordinator.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Rafael Esparza, our guest. He joins us right here on your home of the Jaguars. How you doing, Rafael?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Big news today with the firing of Trent Baalke here. What has that done odds-wise for the newest head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I mean, I think we were talking about this. The Jaguars and the Saints might be the last 2 teams that have a head coach, and I still believe that that them 2 are going to be the last one to be a head coaches. You know what? For some reason, Mike McCarthy's name keeps on going out there. If the Saints don't get him, I don't think he coaches anymore. I think the Jags are going someone offensive coordinator or younger, new fresh blood. So I think if Mike McCarthy doesn't go to the Saints, he's done. He doesn't coach this year. It's going to be very interesting what Jacksonville does.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, how's the money so far? Let's begin with the AFC Championship game.
Well, right when we posted up a 9, someone around town put a $1.3 million bet on the Kansas City Chiefs. So,
Wow.
so most books had to play catch up because anytime you get that significant amount of money coming in, the piggyback effect happens. Everyone starts betting the same side because they think that guy knows something. So I think some books are playing catch up, but I think down the road will be even out on money wise because Buffalo looked really good last week.
Yeah, they absolutely did. Can they get there back to the Super Bowl? It's been a little bit for Buffalo. How about the NFC and everything that's happened here with the Washington Commanders? Boy, I bet you could have gotten a preseason play on them that would have paid some serious cash if, in fact, they make the Super Bowl or, of course, win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we had so much other action in that division with Cowboy money and Eagle money coming in, so we were able to balance that Washington money because there's some big tickets floating out there for the both to represent the AFC and to win a Super Bowl. But I know the networks don't want Washington, and everyone keeps on saying, but what's a good story of Jane Daniels? Yeah, but Washington Commanders doesn't move the needle when it comes to network watching. So I think there'll be room for the Eagles. I think the Eagles defense are going to remember what happened last month when Washington came back and won in Philly. I think they're going to. I think the defense of the Eagles are going to be ready.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, what's the latest? What's going on right now at MyBookie and MyBookie.org?
It's all about upcoming Super Bowl. We're already diving in on Super Bowl prop bets right now. There's no UFC this weekend, so I have to just dive in on prop bets. They hinted to me. I'm not going to say this in confidence, but they hinted that they want 5,000 props this year. I said Washington's in there. We probably might be able to do a lot of Jane Daniels ones, but I don't. Unless your listeners have any ideas for betting props, please give them my email address.
Absolutely. Can they get you on your website?
Yeah, you can get me on my website. You can follow me on all my socials, BSI.sports and Instagram at Rafael Esparza. You can find me on all those DocSports.com and MyBookie. So find me anywhere to try to give me some ideas because the bosses want $5K in prop bets.
There you go. Rafael, always a pleasure. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
All right, Hacker Nation is here. Going to be anything about outside of a normal Wednesday night. My goodness, who saw this coming?
Yeah, maybe the craziest day in Jaguar history. Certainly in the conversation. Tell you a funny inside the business story. Got Ryan O'Halloran joining me tonight to preview Buffalo, Kansas City. But having Ryan on, I obviously wanted to talk with him about the Jaguar situation. So we recorded an interview yesterday, and then William Cohen takes his name out of the running this morning. So we record a second interview. And then Ryan texted me at 3 o'clock. He said, you just want to do the whole thing over again? I said, what are you talking about? And I got on Twitter, and Trent Baalke had been fired. Yeah. So the third time was a charm for me and Ryan O'Halloran, and that's how crazy my day has been.
Wow, unbelievable. I didn't see this coming at all. I mean, if it didn't happen 2.5 weeks ago, happening today, I mean, to me, this is just bizarre.
It's, I mean, look, I don't think this was the sole reason, but I wonder if it played a factor. Was this Greg Schiano in Tennessee? I mean, did Shad understand the fan reaction?
With the volunteers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
social media.
The volunteer fan base literally forced Tennessee to get rid of Greg Schiano like 2 days in. And I'm not saying the Jaguar fan base did that to Shad, but was that a contributing factor? Obviously, the Liam Cohen news was probably the water over the dam because it happened 4 hours after Liam Cohen took his name out of the running. Although I will remind people are like, well, has Liam Cohen signed his contract yet? It doesn't matter if he signs his contract. It's a contract for an offensive coordinator spot. He could sign 10 contracts to be an offensive coordinator in Tampa. If he wants to be the Jaguars head coach, that's an upgrade so the Jaguars can still pursue him. I think that might be a bad look for Liam Cohen publicly if he were to go against his word. But him signing the contract doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's a bad that would not be good for his reputation. I mean, it's happened before. Josh McDaniels has done it. Bill Belichick has certainly done it, so we'll see what ends up happening. All right, you got all that coming up. What else?
Yeah, Ryan O'Halloran, we'll do a lot, like I said, on the Jaguar situation. I got our guy Dilla, Dilla, on social media. I wanted to get the fan reaction tonight, and boy, Dilla had a lot to say, which will be a really interesting conversation with him. Also, Steve Palazzolo, one of the best NFL podcasters out there. Steve does a great job, formerly of PFF. Now he's with the Check the Mic podcast. So, yeah, for the next 2 hours, it's all about maybe the craziest day in the history of the Jaguars.
There you go. He's coming up right now. That is Hacker Nation. Have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
We're back tomorrow night, 6 to 8 on Thursday. Thank you to John Osher. Thank you to Rafael Esparza. Thank you to you. My goodness, what a incredible amount of feedback tonight. I don't check the text line or anything else, YouTube, any of that. Now that the show is over, you can always get me on Twitter or X, though, at Blue1010XL. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Hackers coming up right now. My name is Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow at 6 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.